first pick in the 2020 draft.
To win a national championship and build them into a Super Bowl team? Don't think about what just Welcome to the program.
What is up, everybody? It is here, the final, I guess, technically recruiting episode here of the program for at least League One. We'll be back tomorrow with League Two stuff. We've got a shit ton of people who are signing today. It's going to be a little bit of work
just
here.
A few.
We've got a whole list of players here again. Signing day and real life signing day, so it should be a lot of fun. We're just going to go through the list here. No recruiting class updates. Probably won't update recruiting classes until after the holidays. I guess it'll all depend on how quickly he wants to get that done, because it's going to be a lot of recruits he has to throw on there. May just wait until after we do our cut downs and everything. But we're going to go through all how many exactly are there? I haven't even looked to see the exact number.
64.
64 recruits that we're going to talk about today. We're just going to start at the bottom, go up, start talking about everybody here as a single. There are a bunch of recruits here that we're only had one school that offered them scholarships, so we'll just kind of mention those as we get to them on the list that Carl put together. Again, we're only doing League One today, mostly because Boz could not join us today, so we're going to go live probably right around this time tomorrow as well. Carl said he'll be able to join us a little bit later. Boz will be jumping on. So we'll do League Two tomorrow, which I think has 10 more recruits. Is that correct? Or 20 more? They've got 80, right?
Yeah, I think it's 20 more. So,
so I appreciate you guys.
There's 22 solo recruits in that one though. So, couple.
Appreciate you guys ruining my 2 easy days for me, making life difficult.
You're welcome. The team that utilized the least bonus points was UC Davis. They're the one winning all the 10%ers. Their bonuses added up to 336.5 points. The next closest was 40 away. USF utilized the most bonus points. So utilizing the pipeline, the early playing time, all of that, they had 973 bonus points, so almost 1,000 bonus points. And the next closest was 121 away. So
very nice.
I think you see that in teams classes as well. Utilizing those pipelines, those bonus points is definitely going to help you. We might have to do a recruiting workshop this offseason just to help everybody out, level the playing field.
Yeah, we were talking about it. Obviously, we might do some things to change up recruiting. We will talk to everybody, kind of get your guys' opinions. Again, this was year one, so we're not sure what has or hasn't worked for some people. Obviously, as we will talk about, Carl has more than today himself. Yes, that's true. Tomorrow's going to be ridiculous with how many recruits Carl has. And I'll be honest, that might be a little bit of –
that'll be something we talk about for sure.
Yeah, because I feel like I probably used the system a little bit to my advantage today as well. Not really honestly, me and Carl talked about it through text messages the other day. I honestly thought a lot of people were going to use the same strategy I did, and apparently nobody else in League One did. And so it might be something we change, although I don't know if I did what Carl – I feel like, Carl, you probably would put one recruiting point towards some of these players. I actually put
no comment.
Amount in, but –
no comment.
We will definitely. I might try and schedule like a Zoom call with like each league at one time, or see if maybe we can get almost everybody on just to have a little fun and talk about that. But see what has and hasn't worked for people, and we'll try and workshop that some in the off season. But we will save that for obviously after the holidays and everything. Let everybody enjoy their time with their family, which is why we're going to try and knock out all this stuff today. So probably a little bit of a longer episode than usual, but this will be it for League One for now. So let's go ahead and kick it off. I've got to, I guess, technically share my screen so that everybody can see this. So there we go.
Yeah, you do all the technical stuff back there, and I'll try to fill airtime because everybody loves hearing me. First guy up, Jackson Meeks, Georgia recruit from Alabama, deciding between Pitt and TCU. 80-20 split.
All right, and so TCU is getting them.
Wow,
right off the bat.
Austin
right off the bat.
So
I will say right now, that's probably the last gift that you guys are going to see today because it's a lot of guys, and we do want to try and get through these guys and not have this be like a 6-hour show. So we're going to probably limit the gifts a little bit here. All right, so who are we going to
your next guy is going to be Jordan Jenkins, but I'm gonna mention Demir Collins. Nobody recruited him. He's headed to the University of West Florida, Division II powerhouse. Javion Hunt, Arkansas running back, headed to Texas A&M, solo commit there. MJ Daniels, a undecided athlete. He's a cornerback. He's going to head to the Colorado School of Mines. Nice pickup for them. And next we have Jordan Jenkins, Baylor running back, deciding between A&M and Ohio State. 80-20 split. Oh, you aren't putting the D there.
He's going to A&M. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? So we've got
all right. A&M. Next three, Jordan Dingle, a Kentucky tight end headed to Assumption University. Trenton Atkins, he was highly recruited in League Two. West Virginia running back athlete headed to North Dakota State. I think that's a good fit for him. Bryson Nesbitt, who I got in League Two, still on the block there, Hawaii. Or wait, that's UNC. He's headed to South Carolina, and he's going to Mount Union in the program. Next up, Sam Hart, Ohio State tight end. I'm surprised you didn't put in on him. He's headed to TCU straight up. Nick Elksness, a Florida tight end. I hope I pronounced that right. Going to USF. Figure Florida guy going to USF makes sense. Next up, this is an actual battle. Adonai Mitchell, a Georgia wide receiver out of the state of Tennessee, deciding between Stanford and TCU.
And he is going to Stanford.
All right, chalk. Next up, our first three-way of the day. We even got a four-way today. It's going to be awesome. Jaden Alexis, a Texas wide receiver, deciding between the Green Wave, USF, and Pitt. So here we go. USF trying to get another Florida receiver. Can they pull the upset? Or can Pitt? I'd love to see Pitt get somebody.
All right,
it's kind of like their season. It was great, and then it just. But they get Kenny Pickett back.
They did get Kenny Pickett back, so we'll not be going to USF or Tulane. Hey. So congratulations, Pitt. Austin pulling here nice and early.
He said he's out already, but he better have stayed in. Next up, Tarvarish Dawson, a athlete headed to Auburn. He's a wide receiver, defensive back. He's going to USF. And then we have Kadarius Callaway. He's lower on the recruiting ranks to start the year. He's actually up to 151 now. He is a Alabama. He's headed to Alabama. He's an athlete. Looks like a wide receiver, deciding between Texas at 80% and Pitt at 20.
Pitt at 20. All right. And he's going to Pitt again. So Austin two recruits in a row here.
Did he tune out? I hope he,
I have no idea.
He didn't tune out.
I have no idea. I don't have the page up or whatever. I've got the draft pick page up.
All right. Next, Jacob Rodriguez. I wanted to call him Jacoby. Virginia athlete QB. He is going to Texas straight up. Malachi Bennett, a UAB wide receiver, going to Ashland University. And next up in here, Kobe Paysauer, a UNC wide receiver out of North Carolina. And this is a dead even split, 50-50 between TCU and UC Davis. Our first tie. I believe there are a few more ties in League One.
All right. So what is he? You say a wide receiver?
He is a wide receiver.
All right.
Trying to take over for Diami.
TCU. So TCU and Pitt having pretty good days so far here on signing day, building out their classes.
All right, next guy, Chayman Metayer, Cincinnati tight end. He's an athlete. He's going to Truman State University. And then we have Ricky Parks, Utah running back out of the state of Florida, deciding between UC Davis at 70%. Very rare to see them that high. They've never won when they've been at 70. USF at 20 and Tulane at 10.
So this pretty much means there's no shot UC Davis wins this because I don't think they've ever won one being a favorite.
They have not. First time
USF,
for everything.
Tulane, and it is the first time for everything. They are going to get Ricky Parks. So congratulations to UC Davis.
All right, next up, Brashard Smith. He is a Florida wide receiver, so you can already guess who's in on him. This is a two-team battle. He's headed to Miami. And he is deciding between USF and Tulane, just two teams.
USF and Tulane.
Look at this. We only have 54 guys left.
Only 54 guys left. And now all of a sudden it's not loading. There we go. USF and Tulane, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. USF it is. So he continues his dominance of Florida wide receivers.
Somebody stop that man. Just imagine his recruiting class next year, although he won't get early playing time for wide receivers. Next up, Blaine Green. He is headed to the Ohio State University as a wide receiver out of the state of Texas, deciding between Penn State, UCSD, and TCU. Be great for Penn State to get a few recruits on National Signing Day. They do have a small class right now, but everything can change on National Signing Day.
UCSD and
TCU.
Oops, solo. They can survive the little U there. That's okay.
Maybe it'll help them. Nope.
Not TCU or Penn State. So UCSD, man, UCSD is just with the upsets all season long. Has been killing it in the recruiting
Next
class.
guy, Ari Patu, QB, headed to Stanford. He was highly committed in League 2, but in League 1 nobody wanted him but Stanford, so PJ gets his guy. Next up, Audric Estime, whatever, New Jersey running back, deciding between UC Davis and Ohio State. 80-20. UC Davis with the lead again. They just didn't have their guys commit until now, so they have the lead on quite a few guys today.
Did this dude commit in League 2 by any chance?
He did last week.
Just checking. All right, let's see here. Come on, Ohio State. All right, look at that. Probably the only one I'll land today, so excited about that.
He committed to UCLA last week.
Very nice. All right.
Next up, Cameron Valdez, a Texas Tech running back out of the state of Texas, deciding between UC Davis, Texas A&M, and Texas. UC Davis stealing a Texas running back, it looks like. They're the favorite again. They've only won once as the favorite, though.
UC Davis. Read those off again.
Texas. A&M in Texas. Yep. 2010. Great year. Graduated high school.
All right, Mr. Valdez. Not UC Davis, so they are going to get upset themselves, and it is by Texas. So Texas getting Cam here. I don't know why it does that every once in a while. But Cameron Valdez is going to Texas.
All right. Next, Ty Keys, a QB headed to Tulane, and he's headed to Tulane in the program. We're going to move on to Catravion Hargrove. Quite the name there. He is a running back from the state of Louisiana, headed to Florida State University. FSU made me think of something else. He's deciding between three schools.
Oh, shit. I thought I only saw two on there.
There's a lot of numbers to read. So he's deciding between Pitt at 70%, Texas at 20, and the Green Wave at 10.
We could have left Boss off there. He'd have been all right.
Watch him be the one that wins this now.
Texas, Tulane, so he's going with Pitt. So Austin having himself a day. Austin should not turn into any more streams. I feel like maybe that would help him out here. He's having himself a day right now.
He is. There's 5 people watching. So next up, Sam Jackson, Purdue QB. He's actually undecided now. He decommitted. So he's deciding soon, but he's going straight to TCU. Good pickup by Brandon there. Next up, Jack Pug, Wisconsin tight end out of the state of Ohio, UC Davis, Texas, and the Ohio State. And I'm sure it's Pew, but I just really wanted to say Pug.
I got you. It's all right. All right. So not UC Davis or Ohio State. So Texas having himself a day.
Oh, man.
Signing day.
UC Davis is 1 for 4 with the lead today. And
hey,
one forever.
Exactly. They're like 50 for 50 on upsets. So I think and most of them on very good prospects. So I feel like he's pretty happy with the odds he's had on that at least.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be. He's done pretty solid for himself. He's got Caleb Williams. So next up, Durand Bradley, a wide receiver from Texas, headed to Texas Tech. He's deciding between UCSD and the Ohio State. And Matt, I'm sure you're noticing as we're going through, when you're the number 2 team, it's because of the method you used. Otherwise, these would have been solo commits.
Yeah, so I feel like that didn't work out for me. At least we'll see if I get any of them. And I'm not getting Bradley. So
well, you got one already.
Oh yeah, that is true. I did. Yeah, I was hoping to get a couple of them, but so he goes to UCSD there. Next up, I'm just going with Irving. I'm not even going to spell this dude's first name.
Marquise Irving, a running back from the state of Illinois, headed to Ski-U-Mah and to row the boat. Go Gophers. He is deciding between UC Davis, Tulane, and TCU. Let's see if Al's got some luck here.
Tulane and TCU. All right. There we go. All right. Not Tulane or TCU, so UC Davis does keep one of his top commits here in Irving.
There we go. All right, next guy, Donovan McCulley, a QB headed to Indiana from Indiana. He's going to Minnesota State University, Mankato. He heard Adam Thielen went there, so he figured, why the hell not?
Oh, this is the
next
guy. This is the one I want to put the upset
on. Yeah, you need a little luck here. This guy is skyrocketing up boards. He is a Penn State commit. He's an athlete, looking like a wide receiver. They're pretty sure he's going to play there. Deciding between Pitt, Tulane, and the Ohio State. This is a matchup I'm really interested for. This is probably the biggest matchup of the day, let's be honest.
This is the guy that Austin really wants, who apparently did not leave the show. So he's been here. I'm assuming if you stayed the whole time, Austin, you have, just so you know, if you haven't, you've been killing it. And I know how much you want. I know how much you want Lonnie White, so I'm really hoping this is an upset. Not Tulane, damn, not Ohio State. So you do get your guy in Lonnie White. He did just mention him on the Debbie debate last episode as we talked about some incoming freshmen, and he really likes Lonnie White. So I won't lie, that's the only reason I put in for him last week, and I put in 50 points just to try and get my name on the board there. Did not work out for me.
Hey, love the plug. Definitely, if you haven't listened to the Debbie debate. Next up, Dominic Lovett, a undecided wide receiver. I think he's committed now. Missouri, out of the state of Illinois. He's deciding between Texas A&M and Tulane. Just 2 teams. I've been researching these guys like crazy because I know I'm going to have to make a bunch of cuts.
You said Tulane, right? Was the second school?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that is the one thing I will say. I know we've got still a decent amount of people watching here. Yes, congratulations, Austin. I really do know how much you wanted Lonnie. It really doesn't matter how many guys some of this come away from. Like, I know there was a lot of talk about the amount of prospects that Carl is in on tomorrow. He can only keep 15 of those guys. So it doesn't matter if he gets, say, all Well, he's not going to get all 68, but say he gets 30
I
prospects
will
tomorrow.
not get 68.
He can only keep 15, so it's not like he's replenishing his entire roster tomorrow. So just a heads up to everybody. But on Lovett, he's going to Tulane, so Tulane pulls off that upset.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even keep if I got all 68, I couldn't even keep them all if I was trying to replace my whole roster.
Yeah. Ooh, we're going with the last name here. I'm not. There's some of these guys.
This is the last name. Christian Veilleux, a Maryland hometown QB, going to Penn State, deciding between Penn State, Tulane, and Texas. You should have just gone with Christian. That would have been easier.
It's going to be Penn now. Penn, Tulane, and Texas.
Yes, sir.
I have a horrible memory, so I'm trying to remember it as you yell it because me looking down at this sheet and looking back up is not working for my neck right now. All right, so he's not going to Penn, not Texas, so Tulane. So Boz having himself a nice day.
Yeah, back-to-back upsets there by Boz. All right, next up, Jackson Dart. He actually just committed to USC today. He is actually the number 103 recruit right now. He was not even in the top 400 to start the year. He is a QB, deciding between Pitt at 70%, UC Davis at 20%, and The Ohio State at 10%. This is once I saw Austin put him on there, I had to start looking him up, and I definitely put some points on him for tomorrow.
So
more than
Ohio
one.
State.
More than 1 point.
UC Davis, so Pitt. So Austin continuing his great day today. It looks like he's waiting until signing day to kind of make a big run in his class here, and he is doing it.
Boz, just hop in on the call with us. You can chat while you drive. You don't have to have your video up. But you got Dominic Lovett. He's a wide receiver.
Oh, is Boz commenting on there?
Yeah, Boz is commenting on YouTube. All right. Next up, Kyron Drones, Baylor QB, going to Texas. Jordan Poole, NC State running back linebacker, headed to Grand Valley State. Good choice of program there. And now we have Ethan Callie, Akmanis. I'll finish that for you. QB going to the Gophers, deciding between A&M, figures. He's got 3 teams on him, USF, and Pitt. So you got the 2 Minnesota boys in on him, and then Austin's thrown his name in the ring too.
Yes, BJ. We'll address that more toward the end of the episode, and we'll probably do a show at some point in time before the offseason really hits. But we're not doing anything with the freshmen until after Declaration Day, which is January 14th. That's when we'll have to start worrying about cutting down our rosters and everything. There will be an opportunity to get people that were cut and everything, but we're going to worry about that later. So we'll address it at some point after the signing days and after the holidays are over, so people can kind of enjoy their time off, and then we'll get back into kind of firing the program up. Give everybody a couple weeks off. So
don't click. There's 3 schools.
There's 3?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. The 2 Minnesota boys, and then Austin. Yep, Austin threw his name in the hat too. So
okay, so
Ethan Callie Akmanis. Yep, A&M 70, USF 20, and then Pitt with 10. For a long time this season, A&M was the only guy in on him, but obviously it's hard to fill that up by yourself.
So he gets him. Congratulations, he was in on them all off season, and he gets him. He stays committed to the cause there.
There we go. Whatever the dog's name is happy. Next up, Phil Maffa, a Clemson running back out of the state of Georgia, deciding between Texas, Pitt, and Stanford.
Oops. All right. So he is not going to Pitt or Stanford, so Texas continues their pretty good signing day here as well.
All right, next up, Jalen Smith. He's an athlete. They're wondering if he'll play defensive back or running back. He's going to USC. He is committing to the Ohio State, so he's most likely to play defense there just based on how Matt recruits. Next up, Yule Keith Brown, a undecided athlete. Looks like a wide receiver, coming out of Florida, deciding between Tulane at 70, Georgia Tech at 20, and USF at 10.
All right. So he is not going USF or Tulane. So Georgia Tech getting the upset here.
Boz isn't going to be happy about that one.
Row the boat indeed, Skip. Good job.
I'm wearing my Gophers sweatshirt today.
The dude.
Gotta get it warmed up for the weekend.
On the dude's name I cannot pronounce, so congratulations.
You'll keep. You got it. Caden Prather, a West Virginia wide receiver commit out of the state of Maryland.
Completely.
Decided between two teams, Pitt and Texas. So Pitt trying to continue. I mean, they haven't gotten anybody all year. This is definitely improving their class, and maybe they're just like, hey, hold up, just wait till signing day. We want to make a statement.
Well, Texas is the one making the statement with Prather there, so that's who ends up getting him.
I'm done talking about Pitt. Sorry, Austin. Next up, Gage Wilcox, a tight end headed to Florida University, or the University of Florida. I think that's the way you say it. Out of Florida. Deciding between USF, TCU, and Texas. He's a Florida pass catcher, so of course, USF's in on him. And I believe they already got another Florida tight end today. They did, and Nick Elkness, whatever it is.
Who's the third school? TCU and
Texas. Texas. Team upset today.
All right. So
not going if we went all chalk today
or TCU. So it would not be a fun episode at all. USF, they continue their domination of Florida, really using his pipeline to his advantage, as you mentioned at the beginning of the show as well.
Yeah, Titus Makialo Atelamimama, the athlete wide receiver, is going to Bemidji State University. He wants to follow in Gunnar Olszewski's shoes. Now we have James Blackstrain. He is a wide receiver headed to Georgia Tech. He's from Florida, so you already know the top team's USF. Then it's Tulane, and then it's Texas. Texas was the only other school to go after a bunch of guys, but they did it at 20 points a shot. So
gotcha. So USF is not getting a Florida recruit for once. Tulane is getting them as Texas misses out. So Boz having himself a pretty good day today.
Yeah, there you go, Boz. There's a wide receiver. The next guy, Tommy Hill, an Arizona State athlete, DB wide receiver, leaning more towards DB, but he's from Florida. He catches the ball. He's going to USF. Jabez Tenay, a Washington wide receiver from the state of Washington. Figures you would be the top team on him there, Matt.
That's not going to get him.
That Washington pipeline. You got 70, Stanford's got 20, and Georgia Tech with 10.
Yeah, I think Stanford has that too. I'm pretty sure he's got the Washington pipeline as well, because I know he was pretty high in on Abuka and Sam Heward. Of course, he's not going to Ohio State, so he's going to Stanford. Congratulations, BJ.
All right, here's your chance to get back. Next up, Bryson Green, a Texas hometown guy, headed to the Ohio State University. He's a wide receiver. Top team Stanford at 70%. TCU at 20, Ohio State at 10.
All right, so not going TCU or Ohio State. He is going to Stanford.
All right, next guy, Will Latu, a linebacker headed to Washington. He's going to Wichita Baptist. Maven Anderson, a wide receiver from California, going to Cal. Yeah, not Marvin, Maven. He's decided between Pitt, A&M, and Ohio State. I see you're just putting OSU now. You're just done.
Yeah, my fingers are getting tired. This is a lot of typing really quick, so I'm old. Not Ohio State or Texas A&M, so Pitt. Austin continues his dominance on signing day.
All right, Terrence Ferguson is up next. We call him Turd Ferguson today. He is a Oregon commit at tight end from the state of Colorado, deciding between Tulane at 70, UC Davis at 20, and Texas at 10.
All right, so not Texas or Tulane. So UC Davis continues their string of upsets this year.
Wow, it's such an impressive run. I wish I could go back and just know the stat of how many times they've done it.
It's got to be something with this system. There must be something like, well, we've given it to UC Davis. All these other
he's only won twice as the favorite. Only won twice, and both of those are today. Next up, Devin Kirkwood, a athlete. He's going to be a defensive back, going to UCLA, deciding between Georgia Tech, Ohio State, and Tulane.
Of course, this is where I'll pull the upset. Because he's not going Georgia Tech or Tulane. Let's go. Dominating the defensive side of the ball. You got to love
This is absolutely incredible. Such an easy cut to make come January. Next up, Antonio Harmon. No idea if he's related to Kelvin. He is a wide receiver headed to Ole Miss from the state of Mississippi. 3 schools for quite a while on these next recruits. UCSD at 70, Texas at 20, TCU at 10.
Damn, it was in middle school. I didn't hear you.
Texas forever.
It's just going to be UT from now on. And who was the last one?
TCU.
All right.
You could label them 1, 2, 3, and I'd know who they were.
Not TCU or UT, so he is sticking with UCSD.
All right. Next up, Quentin Barnes. He is a undecided wide receiver from the state of Tennessee, deciding between, hey, we only have 20 left, Matt. Deciding between UCSD, Ohio State, and Tulane.
Well, UCSD should feel pretty good because he's not a defensive back, which means you're probably going to win him. Yep. Look at that. What'd I tell you? Congratulations.
Incredible. What a run. Next up is Keon Coleman. He is a wide receiver out of Louisiana, headed to Kansas, so he's not going to do anything in college. Just kidding. They have some people. He is deciding between Texas A&M, Texas, and Tulane.
All right. Not Tulane or Texas, so Texas A&M. Skip having a pretty good day here.
Yeah, he's waited all year. He's been one of the slower classes, but hey, it all comes down to who you have at the end. Next up, Aaron McLaughlin, and Matt's gone, so you just get me. We'll see if he comes back. There he is.
I hit back on the wrong button. I was trying to hit back on the recruiting sheet there. So.
I looked and it was just my face. I was like, awesome. Great look. Now you guys know what I do behind the screen.
Austin's comments just pissed me off so much I just jumped out. That's exactly what happened.
Hey, I think it was a compliment. I think he meant your defensive recruiting prowess, right, Austin?
Aaron McLaughlin. I forgot to tell you guys, we are moving to heavy IDP next year. Heavy IDP scoring. Just in case you guys didn't get the memo, I did send that out last night.
He is deciding between Stanford, Georgia Tech, and the Ohio State. He is a QB committed to NC State, the Wolfpack. Not
Georgia Tech or Ohio State, so Stanford, my bad, is continuing their nice little run today as well.
The trees. All right, next up is Chase Smith, a Florida
easy name to put on here.
Athlete. He is a linebacker / wide receiver going to Miami, so you can already guess the top team on him, followed by Penn State at 20 and TCU at 10.
All right, so not Penn State or TCU, so USF continues their Florida domination.
All right, next up, Malik Nabers, Nabers, a wide receiver, Mississippi State commit, deciding between Tulane, Georgia Tech, and Texas A&M. Louisiana product, so you know that Boz was after this guy.
All right, so not Georgia Tech or Tulane, Texas A&M with the upset here on Mr. Nabers.
Wow. Boz has unreal. Boz and Penn State have had unreal luck on getting upset. Next up, Jordan Mosley, a Alabama guy playing wide receiver, headed to Tennessee, deciding between UCSD, Texas A&M, and Texas. Oh, and I guess Neighbors just flipped his commitment to LSU, so
Oh,
Paz is
very
even
nice.
more butthurt over that.
Texas A&M. So he is going to UCSD.
All right. Next up, DeKel Crowdus. Not as cool as DeColdest. Nobody will ever beat that name. He's a wide receiver from Kentucky, headed to Kentucky, deciding between A&M, Georgia Tech, and Ohio State.
Oops, all right. Not Georgia Tech or look at that. Yeah, we finally pulled off an upset on
I just
Crowdus.
Googled this guy. It looks like he's playing defensive back now.
Of course he is. That makes perfect sense, actually. So
I didn't Google him. All right, next up, Elijah Arroyo. This is a guy who I know quite a few people in League Two are excited about. Wackerly for one. He is a tight end out of the state of Texas, head to Miami, deciding between Pitt, the Ohio State, and Texas A&M. He's a guy I'm definitely hoping to get, but I don't think I put enough points on him.
Not Ohio State or A&M. So again, Austin having himself a day today, man.
All right. Next up, Peter Costelli, a Cali boy, playing QB, headed to Utah, deciding between Stanford, Tulane, and Georgia Tech.
Tulane and Georgia Tech, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Not Tulane or Georgia Tech, so Stanford continues.
It's like we're on The Bachelor here. All right, we got 4 on this guy.
All right.
Call him Teddy Knox. Theodore Knox, a Texas wide receiver, headed to Mississippi State, deciding between UCSD, Pitt, Texas, and Ohio State.
Oh, shit, this is going to be like the weird number shit that I'm going to mess up. So UCSD is 70.
Yeah, it's 70.25.5. You can just call them UCSD 70. Pitt at 20, Texas at 5, Ohio State at 5. Hey, Matt, you may not get this guy, but I guarantee you'll get the next guy.
Yeah, why? Because he's a defensive player. Not Pitt or Ohio State or Texas. So UCSD continues their domination on today as well.
All right, next guy, Gabe Stevens, a UNC commit. He's playing defensive end, and he's headed to the Ohio State University.
Yeah, let's go. I'm telling you guys, the IDP heavy next year. If you guys think I'm kidding, it's coming.
All right. Jaden Thomas is next up on our list. He is a Notre Dame wide receiver from Georgia. So Georgia Tech's the top team. Ohio State is second. And Texas is in third.
All right, not Texas or Georgia Tech. So, all right, Ohio State, yeah, pulling a couple upsets here. I like it. At least not on just defensive players. I appreciate you guys. You know, we are trying to be an offensive powerhouse as well. Just throwing that out there in case anybody else changes their mind.
All right, next up is Hudson Wolf. He is a tight end from the state of Tennessee, headed to the Volunteers. As of when this sheet was made, I should probably just put that asterisk on all of this. UCSD is the top team. Penn State is number 2, and UC Davis is in that 10%er spot. That's trouble.
UC Davis?
Yep. This is their favorite spot to be in. Who knew 10% could really mean 90?
Penn State means that. They can tell you that at least. All right, so not UCSD, so they're being upset. Oh, but it's by Penn State this time. How about that?
There we go. I was like, if this is UC Davis, this machine is broken, and we need Matt Hicks to get us a new one. Next up, Christian Dixon, a wide receiver from the state of California, headed to the Wolverines. He's deciding between Texas, UCSD, and Georgia Tech. Gotta love that GT. It's so easy.
It's wonderful. I love it. Becoming my favorite school now all of a sudden. And Texas wins. All right. Next up, a QB headed to Florida State University from the state of Mississippi, Luke Altmaier. He is deciding between 4 teams:
because why not? We'll see if Stanford can stay undefeated. We have Georgia Tech at 70, UC Davis at 20, Penn State at 5, and Stanford at 5.
No, come on now, computer.
Hey, we're so close. We got 6 left,
It's
including
just
this
Penn
one.
now.
It was Penn earlier. All right.
Not UC Davis or Stanford. Not
Stanford.
Penn. So
Stanford
Georgia
has
Tech.
lost. They're undefeated. All right, next up is Dejon Reynolds, similar to the Mustard. Dejon, he is a wide receiver from the state of Georgia, headed to the Gators, deciding between UCSD, the Ohio State, and Tulane. You're in the middle. There you go.
All right. Who's winning Ryan Reynolds here? I'll take his wife, Blake Lively, whoever wins it. Not Ohio State or Tulane, so UCSD continuing to win on recruiting day or signing day. Sorry.
All right. Next up is Jake Rubley. That's an interesting last name. He is a QB committed to Kansas State.
Thanks for rubbing it in,
Colorado. You're welcome. He's decided between Tulane as the top school. Never good for them. Georgia Tech at 20 and Penn State at 10. Look at this.
All
this
right.
might be our fastest show yet.
Not Georgia Tech or Penn State, so Tulane gets theirs.
All right. Next up, a defensive back. Safety, one of the best in there. Anthony Beavers Jr. headed to USC California product, deciding between Texas, TCU, and Penn State. $71, nice.
Yeah, no, I keep hitting that one. All right, who's getting Beaver Street? It is not Texas. We're just gonna click on it. It's TCU. Congratulations on your defensive player. Not quite as good a defense as Ohio State, but you're getting there.
All right, next up is Trevante Rucker, a Florida wide receiver, headed to Florida. I'm not even going to say the top team. TCU's in second, and Ohio State is in third. Absolutely incredible, the points that USF has put into wide receivers.
And he's going to USF. Figured I'd just go ahead and click on it. So congratulations to Kane, dominating in Florida and at the wide receiver position.
All right, here's our last one. This is how we're finishing off the day. There's no better way to do it than with a defensive back. DeAndre Boykins, UNC commit from North Carolina, deciding between Penn State, Ohio State, and Texas. There is still a chance that he plays running back, but when he did his commitment video, I watched it. He said his position was nickel.
Hey, at least I didn't upset him. I'm going to take that. So Penn State it is. All right. That was really the last one?
That was the last one. We did it all. I think we honestly almost could have done 2 today, but it's good to break it up. Give us a little break. All right. Recruiting class highlights. UC Davis, props. You guys are the best at stealing recruits. Absolutely unbelievable. You stole Caleb Williams, Bo Collins, Deion Smith, Brian Thomas Jr., Thad Franklin, just to name a few. Next up on the list, TCU. Hell of a day today. But big grabs in Kamar Wheaton, LJ Johnson, and Cody Jackson. They also got a couple nice QBs in Garrett Nussmeier and Miller Moss. Nussmeier still has yet to commit in League 2. Shane, I am sorry. This is just incredible bad luck. You did get the last recruit today, though. The top guy left on the board. You may play defensive back, but a win's a win. You do have Bayron Morton, Jaleel Farouk, Dante Thornton. I mean, you got some guys, and you definitely picked up a few more today. So don't get too down on yourself. There's always next year because this league is not going away. Boz, another upset special, but he got his boys in Lavassier Carroll and J.J. McCarthy. I'm sure he's upset he missed out on some LSU guys, but he also got Chris Hilton, stole Ty Thompson from somebody on the other side of this line, and he picked up some wide receivers today. Coach Kane, just wide receiver U. I don't even think I can compete with him. He already had 15 guys before today. 15 guys before today. So he's definitely got some cuts. There will be wide receivers from the state of Florida available. Coach Coleman, he had an incredible run to start the year. Travion Henderson, Troy Franklin, Donovan Edwards, Tyler Buckner, Jake Garcia, Kamaro Edmonds, who's shooting up the rankings, even though he was low to start the year. So UCSD, very dangerous team, great recruiting class. We'll see what the final rankings are. Coach Austin, I'm sorry, but before today, you definitely had the worst class in League One. But you do have Kyle McCord. You got Marvin Harrison Jr., good bloodlines there. You got Destin Pazone, who changed his name to Destin Hill, really threw me off. Christian Leary. And, of course, you got your boy today, Lonnie White. Coach Ray, you tune in every once in a while, but you did go on some incredible runs. 4 recruits in 1 week. You got Brock Vandegrift. Some consider him the QB1 of this class. Jatavian Sanders, great defensive end, might play tight end as well. Deion Colsey, Jake Brenningstool, and David Daniel, who also plays defensive back. Coach Moss, killer day today, so many upsets, but you got Billy Bowman, JoJo Early, Shadrack Banks, and James Williams, the defensive back headed to Miami. We always got to touch on those. PJ Stanforth, Evan Pryor, Cody Brown, Will Shipley, Kyron Ware Hudson, Drake May. Those are some big names that you got this year, as well as Ari Patu. I think he's definitely a little bit of a sleeper that nobody recruited. Coach Bruning, great defensive team, hands down the best. But Emeka Egbuka, Sam Howard, those are the big names off the top. You also got Jaden Ballard, Sevin McGee, Lorenzo Styles Jr., and Maliki Matavaoa, who you kind of pooped on a little bit when you got him. He's moving up the ranks. He might be somebody for you.
I'm sorry, but if you're listening, I take back everything I said about you. Appreciate you coming to Ohio State. One of the 5.
Skip, great day today. You got Ethan, so that's really all that matters. But you also picked up Jalen Milroe, Quadarius Davis, Katron Jackson, and then you picked your guys down at the bottom of the board, and you stuck with them, and you scooped most of them up today. So, I mean, overall, this is a blast on my end. And there was one fine. There was one fine given out over the entire course of the season, and the person actually gave it to themselves. It was Ray this week. I couldn't get in contact with him, and he just didn't use 10 points because that was the fine. I wasn't gonna take it away from him because I'd worked with everybody. If you're gonna be late, most of the time you didn't make up some reason like your dog ate your homework. So I think we did really good there as well. So,
yeah, it's been a blast, everybody. And again, I appreciate what you and Boz do to get all this stuff. I guess I can pull this off the screen. It doesn't need to be up there anymore.
I like when they can't see my face. That's better because I'm staring.
I mean, so do I, because I can get upset or anything and nobody can see it compared to when I'm usually alive. So yeah, it's been fun. I appreciate obviously everything you and Boz have done. I've made sure to get your guys' names right today and separate you out. But I appreciate everything you guys have done today. It definitely makes the league a lot more fun. So I still show a couple people watching here, we'll address more stuff in the off season. We'll probably wait till maybe the week after New Year's or something to kind of come on, and we'll kind of give a bigger layout of what's coming, or maybe the week before deadline day when we have to make our cuts, give you guys an idea. But we just kind of want to give everybody a time to look at their classes and everything, enjoy the holidays. It's something you guys don't have to focus on the program right now. Have fun with your families. It's been a weird and, let's just admit it, fucked up year. We've got before we get out of here, I do want to say good luck to Alfred. I believe that's who my opponent. Yeah, it is. That is my opponent. I know that for sure because we were talking about it on Twitter. I was trying to think of who. I think Jared.
Is he the favorite in the matchup?
So interestingly enough, I don't know how to put this. I was looking at this so he is. I'll pull it up. We've got a couple minutes. Whatever. I ain't doing anything else today. So let's see here. So standing wise, I mean, he was the highest team this year. He finished just 8-4 with Texas UT, Mr. Todd Moss. But he scored by far the most points, 200 points over Ty, who is the next closest school. And then Stanford finished third. They were the only 3. Oh, I'm sorry, never mind. There's a bunch of us that finished in the 2000s. But he finishes the highest with 24-42. So he had the most points yet right now. and I don't go based on projections, but right now, based on the projections by MFL, I am projected to beat him by 16 points. So I'm obviously hoping that
he'll
happens.
win.
So he will destroy me, but I am hoping that happens. I mean, regardless, hey, I honestly did not think my team was going to make it into this. So getting here has been awesome because I was really I recruited a lot of guys in this class this year that are coming into the NFL. I was hoping on kind of helping build my team, including the 5 quarterbacks I have coming. Was not expecting Aaron Rodgers and, of all people, Justin Herbert to take me here. I did not think Herbert was going to get much playing time. So that's really kind of been my saving grace in this league is Herbert coming on and being as good as he has been. Let me pull up League 2 really quick because I know Jared made
got it.
Okay,
yeah,
so who made
Jared
it?
He beat last week. So he's playing Byron Watkins. I like a doggy style, and Jared's had a nice little run, but I mean it was Byron's league basically the entire year. He was 10-2. Teach was right behind him at 9-3, but he had 2,599 points for.
All right.
Yeah.
Does it show what I guess I can pull it. I've got it up on or maybe not. My phone is taking forever to load. I was going to pull it up from the mobile site to see who's projected to win.
My mobile does not give me projections. I got the bad MFL mobile.
Oh no, I'm talking about on the Would you have an iPhone? You need to use that other one. I hate the one that everybody uses.
I have both of them, but I don't like either. If I'm being completely honest, Program League 2.
Well, yeah, it's on the so it's actually on. You have to use it from the website.
Projected Jared 189.22. Oh wait, that was last week.
Yeah, I'll pull it up. I've got it here. I just gotta find it because I've got 32 leagues on MFL, so I have to scroll down and find it really quick.
I don't know how you do that.
Well, that's getting.
I got
down.
18, and I'm like, this is way too many.
Interesting. So, as of right now, per the projections on MFL, Byron Watkins is projected to win by 1.2 points. So, this is practically a pick'em game here. So, I like it. So, it's going to come down. Now, reminder to Teach and Dwight, you guys are in the third place game. Third place does get paid, so set your lineups. You guys will still, one of you guys will at least get your money back. It's $50 for whoever finishes third, so don't forget to set your lineups. And then, obviously, whoever the winner is between me and Alfred and between Jared and Byron will play again next week as well for the actual Super Bowl. I do have a trophy for the winner, so I am hoping that I do win it, so I don't have to send it anywhere. But if one of you guys wins it, I will reach out to you. I will not going to reveal it yet. I think I'll wait until either the Super Bowl is over or I will send it to them and then let them post the pictures. But I did order a trophy for that. And there is a college one as well. I do have a Natty Championship as well that I'm keeping because it says on the damn website that I won it. And that's all that matters. So
next year, the third place trophy is going to administrative fees.
Yes, exactly. So, but I will definitely, we will be sending those out. Hopefully next year. Hopefully, it looks like we're finally gonna be able to have at least a regular college season. So that'll be something we can ship around to everybody, just to have a little bit of fun, give you a little bit something to show off and everything. We really do appreciate everybody who's made this league a lot of fun, especially early on with a lot of the issues we were trying to figure out as things went, because some of these things were hard to predict. And as Carl mentioned earlier, we'll definitely tweak some things moving forward as well. This first year was really kind of trying to learn what did and didn't work, and we've got a lot of good ideas. We will, again, as I mentioned earlier, try and talk with all of you guys to get any ideas that you guys would like to see changed or anything like that. But everyone in League One that tuned in today, thank you guys so much. Have yourselves a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. And then if you guys want, you can tune back in tomorrow. We'll be here for League 2 with Carl and Boz, and we'll knock out League 2's 180-something effing recruits. So probably be here for 85. An hour tomorrow. 85. It's going to feel like 100 more than likely. So, 85. All right, guys. We will see you guys tomorrow.